What's up? What's up? You guys are back. I'm back. Yeah, I've been here hostage. I've been here hostage by the public school system. In my mind, in the pandemic and depression and all that shit. But I'm back. I'm in a good mood today, y'all. And I'm so happy to be back here, y'all. I know y'all was like, this big left us just twisting in the motherfucking wind. But I'm back and we here to talk about it. I know y'all been seeing it on Facebook and everything, everywhere else. We here to talk about The Harder They Fall. All black cast Western movie, y'all. All black cast Western movie, y'all. Okay, so let's just get right into it because I hate editing and I'm not gonna edit this video, so y'all gonna get.
Divided is usually defined as separated, separate. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for divided. Did that answer your question?
Yeah. Alexa is over in the next room. She just gave me the definition for divided. I'm not even talking to her. I didn't even call her name. I don't know. This is like the second or the third time she just randomly popped off and gave me definitions of words that I never asked. So I'm trying to see, is this something in my house? Or it would be spying on me. I'm finna go unplug. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. That was weird. I also went and got this because I noticed my sound be a little out. But anyway, back to what I was saying. We got this all black Western. The Harder They Fall. So let's just run down the cast right quick. We got Idris Elba, the main characters. Idris Elba, he playing one of the main I guess you want to say antagonists, aka Rufus Buck. We got Stagecoach Mary, played by Zazie Beetz. I think I'm saying that right. Regina King. We got Jonathan Myers. We got Lakeith Stanfield, R.J. Seiler, Del Rolando, Danielle Deadweiler. Shout out to you, girl. Cuffy, she was one of my favorite characters. Eddie Garthiji. I think I'm saying it right. Bill Pickett, the guy that played LaRon from Twilight movies. Deon Cole. We gonna get on Deon Cole. Wiley Esco. Okay, so the movie started out. First and foremost, I want to say this was it was good. And I don't even like westerns, but it was pretty good in the fact that it was all black cast. It was, mostly black main cast. But anyway, yeah, it was a pretty decent movie. The movie started off, we had DeWanda Wise. She was in there too in the beginning for all of 10 minutes. In the beginning, we got DeWanda Wise, the guy that played Miles from Off Soul Food. I can't think of his name, but they weren't in there that long. But they was eating dinner, having a good old time. I'm assuming he was a pastor. They got their little son up in there. They eating, and some dudes, some outlaws came in, and they just got the shooting. They shot the mama, killed the daddy, put an X on the child's head, and yeah, they left. But you notice one of the dudes, he had a scorpion or something on a tattoo of a scorpion or whatever. Remember that because it's gonna come back up. Anyway, so yeah, the little boy, he didn't grow up. They gonna let him flash saying the little boy, he didn't grow up. We later find out that his name is Nat Love. He didn't grow up. He is a robber of bank robbers. Essentially, he's an outlaw himself. So he is hunting down these men that killed his mom and dad. He finally catches up to the dude that had the scorpion tattoo, and he was a pastor now. He had changed his life, and he was like, dude, please don't do this. That was a long time ago. Whatever dealings we had, that was a long time ago. And Ned was like, what they got to do with me? Essentially, what they got to do with me? Pow. He shot him, killed him. So he goes back home. He's back in town. Him and his, nope, I'm skipping a part. He got his little crew. We got Nat Love, his little crew. Let's see. We got Nat. We got Bill Pickett, and we got Jim Beckworth. Those are the three dudes that essentially rob bank robbers and take their money. So it's kind of like gang robbery back in the day. Anyway, so they ended up robbing these outlaws that had just robbed a bank or whatever. Who were the guys? They had my boo Woody up in there, Damon Wayans Jr. and some old people. Long story short, they ended up killing everybody but Damon Wayans Jr. And I don't know his name I don't know his name. I forgot his name. They ended up killing everybody but him. They took him back, to town. And he was like, y'all done fucked up now. Y'all don't know who money y'all done stole. And they was like, whatever, you robbed banks. And he was like, this here money belong to Rufus Buck. Oh, damn, this bra is hurting me, y'all. And when he said Rufus Buck, that lit up Nat's eyes, because as we gonna find out, Rufus Buck is the guy that who Nat has been on a lifelong journey since he was about 10 years old, looking for, the guys that killed his family. So he killed one, but he really wanted Rufus Buck, and Rufus Buck had went to prison, I think. He had got sent to prison, so, he was like, whatever, I got one of them. The other one is in prison, but his soul still couldn't rest, and we gonna get to that. Anyway, so he finally goes back home. He did what he, did. They didn't got the money. They stole like $25,000, I think, and they was gonna split it up 3 ways. So he go back home because he got a woman at home. She used to be in I'm guessing they little crew or whatever. I'm guessing. Anyway, Stagecoach Mary, his girl Mary, they used to be, I guess they had a thing going. So he come home. She done got her little, what they call it? Lagoon, platoon, whatever, a little club that they used to call back in the day in the Western time. She done bought that. She a business woman now. And she was like, nah, I ain't really trying to have nothing to do with you, because you a man with a mission, and I hear you got one of them, but Rufus is still out, and you ain't gonna rest. And we can't start no family like this, cause I'm not about that life no more. So he was like, yeah, I'm done with it. I'm through with it. And she was like, no, you ain't. Long story short, come to find out, Rufus Buck, aka Idris Elba, he has been pardoned. For whatever reason, he's been pardoned for all his transgressions. He getting out, and his crew, they own it. They didn't even let the train get to where it was going. They didn't stop the train, then killed all the soldiers on the train, and they didn't broke him out. So him and his crew, let me give y'all a rundown of his crew. Rufus Buck, which is, we already said, played by Idris Elba. We got your girl Trudy. She a cold bitch. Trudy, played by Regina King. And he had some more means. I know, Lakeith Stanfield. And his name is Cherokee Bill. Side note, anybody else couldn't stand Cherokee Bill? Oh, I can't stand his ass. But anyway, that's his little team. So they out and they going, and they looking to get their money, and they find out that, the boys with their money was robbed. So they ended up going back to I'm assuming they hometown. which was led by one of their crew members, Wiley Esco, played by Dion Cole. And y'all, Dion Cole, they flashed over to him. He up in there, he talking mad shit. He eating his bloody ass steak. And he like, look here. You know, just talking mad shit. Look, I ain't got nothing to say to you. You need to walk on up out of here before I get up. And you know, some of that nature. He just talking mad shit. And I'm like, yeah, you know, he popped up on the scene. He talking his shit. And I'm like, okay. All right, then Rufus Buck, he you know, he he gonna get what he looking for. Coming there trying to fuck with Wiley Esco. Come to find out, he in there talking himself up. He in his office scared to death. They get there, they was like, hey, Rufus want to see him. He was like, I ain't got nothing to say to him. And his boys, they didn't turn on him. He didn't turn to his, you know, his deputies. And they like, well, it wasn't really no question. Get your ass out here. Long story short, he whooped his ass. He took over the town and he told the townspeople, we need to come up with $40,000 and ain't nobody leaving until we do. And anybody that got something to say about it can talk to my gun. You know, it was a few people talking shit. And, you know, he made an example out of him. Beat the shit out of Wiley Esco and told him don't show his face back up in town. Okay. And then we gonna get to Nat and his boys. He found out that Rufus Buck is actually getting out. And he want to be on the first thing smoking to go, you know, go handle it, go see about it. He get the sheriff in on it. Bass Reeves, played by Delroy Lindo, he get the sheriff in on it. He get the sheriff to do his fake ass arrest because, you know, he didn't want his peoples involved. He was like, you know what, this my shit. I mean, you know, this my shit is personal. This is a personal vendetta of mine. And ain't no guarantee that I'm coming back alive. But all I know, somebody dying. It's going to be me and him. And I don't want, you know, my people's involved in it. So he kind of got the sheriff to do this fake arrest. And they was going to go try to handle Rufus Buck. But his people, they were smarter than that. They were smarter than that. So, I think it was morning time, so they ended up following the sheriff and Nat, and they seen, and they was like, so you really thought we was gonna fall for that? Like what's the plan? What we gonna do? And he tried to talk them out of it. Of course, they was like, fuck that, we going. Jim, Bill Pickett, you know, Stagecoach Mary. They all came, they ride off into town. They, so they all ride off into town. And Miss Mary, she thinking that, cause I'm a businesswoman, I can do this. I'm gonna go ahead and I know they looking for money, so I'm gonna go in and offer them, you know, place an offer, say, I want to come and buy this here club, this here nightclub. And, you know, I'm going to get in that way. She thinking her plan was going to work. And that was like, I don't know about all that. That may not work. And she was like, look, I ain't asking for your permission. I'm doing it. So she took it upon herself to leave and go into town by herself, thinking that they wasn't going to suspect her. So her cover got blown. They, you know, roughed her up, tied her up, and pretty much held her hostage. And they was like, we gonna wait on your crew because we know they coming. They showed up and they see that it was Nat, and he was like, you got some of mine that I want, and I got you later. So he was like, this is what you gonna do. You gonna give me my money back plus 10,000 interest. So they gotta get him $35,000. And they was like, Nat and his crew, it was like either that or we killed a girl. And he loves Mary. We all saw that he had if y'all hadn't seen it, go watch it. He had a ring, his mom's ring that he wanted to give her. So they ended up doing it. They went out. Oh, I'm skipping over Cuffy. Danielle, that while girl, you did that. You did that. Anyway, Miss Cuffy, they I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bit confused. I was like, is Cuffy a little boy or a little girl? Little boy or little girl. Kind of find out she's a female that don't take no shit. She's a little thing, but you wouldn't finna play with her, and everybody do it. Anyway, so they get Cuffy to pretend to be Ned's companion, and they get her in a dress. She was like, he pulled out the dress, and she was like, hell no, I'm not putting on that. He was like, we gotta do it. It's for Mary, and you know, Cuffy and Mary, they was tight. She was Mary's security. She didn't lie at her saloon, if I'm saying that right. I think they called it saloon, not club, back in the Western time. And so she agreed. They went into this white town, and it was a white town, baby. Everything was white. All the buildings was white. The dirt was white. Shit, if I'm not mistaken, everybody had on white clothes. And they went into the bank. They robbed the bank. They got 10 grand. Ow, duck! Ow. My cat just scratched the shit out of me. Duck! Get your butt on. Anyway, they ended up, getting the money, the $10,000 plus the 25 that they had. And they had a plan. They weren't just gonna hand over this money. So they went there. They had like a big ass big ass bag of dynamite in there. And they was like, look, you gonna get your money when you hand over the girl, because we don't trust y'all. Y'all here to kill us, and we here to kill y'all. So we don't trust y'all. You don't get this money until you hand over my woman. Anyway, so we got Jim. Jim, he it's been all this talk. Let me just get to this. I skipped over some stuff. Let me get to this. Stop scratching. Let me get to this. Jim, he's been hearing about Cherokee Bill, which is played by Lakeith Stanfield. He been hearing about it. He was like, look, every time some shit going on, I talk about, my guns and my speed and stuff. I'm hearing about who the hell is this Cherokee Bill? I need to meet him. So he finally gets to meet Cherokee Bill. And he wanted a standoff. And they was like, he was doing his little standoff move. And Cherokee Bill was like, dog, I ain't here for all that. I'm not finna play with you. And they laughed at him. But anyway, they get back. And he steady waiting on his chance to, have his standoff with Cherokee Bill. He was like, I'm the fastest hands in the West. He was cute. I liked him. He was funny. Jim, he's a real funny character. It he get there, they doing their little standoff. And he was like, this my moment. This my moment. So I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. When it came down to Cherokee Bill and Jim, deep down, I didn't want it to happen. Deep down, I already knew. I knew it. I was like, based on these two characters, because I know who Lakeith Stanfield is. I don't know this, I didn't know RJ Cyler, who played Jim. And I was like, I want her to make it to the end. I really do. I want to make it to the end. But he didn't call out Cherokee Bill again. So they seen that he was like he was doing his count off. And he was playing around with his gun. And like Jim, if y'all watch the movie, y'all know Jim was kind of a jokester. Young kid, playing around. And he's counting. 1, 2, loading his gun. And before you know it, you see a bullet shoot his ass right in the face. And I was like, no. So that set off like a whole shooting thing. Bill Pickett, him and Jim, they were like brothers, big brother, little brother. They always had this like playful banter going on. And they struck a chord with them, and they started this whole shootout. We got a shootout in the wild, wild west. So everybody shoot. All you see is guns shoot. Net come through the bed. Bah, 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 bah. They shooting. Blah, 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 blah. Everything going on. So when the dust settles, after everything settles, we get Bill Pickett, Cuffy, they run inside the building, and they was like, oh shit, and Bill was like, damn, that was close. He was like, you all right? He was like, yeah, just flesh wound. And he reached in his pocket and he saw that he had a $50, 50-cent piece in his pocket, and there was a bullet in there, and he was like, damn, that was close. And then you hear a pop, and automatically I already know. I was like, no, Bill, y'all didn't kill Jim and y'all didn't kill Bill. I don't like it. The only thing I didn't like about this film was that the fact that everybody died. Pretty much everybody died with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 people. Yeah, 3 people. Like, y'all done got us attached to these folks and then killed them. But, it's a Western, whatever. And they extra. They was always extra in the Westerns. But Cherokee Bill ended up killing Bill Pickett. And Cuffy, she was like, what you gonna do? You gonna shoot me in the back too? Or you gonna cheat the camp? And he was like, okay. He put his gun up, and they did the count. And they was like, 1, 2, pow. Before you knew it, Cuffy, she had got your boy right here in the, I don't know what artery that is, but it's right here. You get shot or stabbed right here, your shit is leaking. So that's all we saw was and he was like, oh, shit. So he just walking. And she was watching him. He walked outside, and everybody saw him. He dropped his shit leaking. And I was like, somebody got his ass. I rejoiced in that. I rejoiced in it because I didn't like Cherokee Bill, and low key, I ain't like Lakeith Stanfield since that Judas movie. He played it. When he played Judas, the Fred Hampton movie. I've been giving him the side eye ever since then. But anyway, so we get, everything, the dust settles. It comes down to Nat and Rufus, right? It gets down to Nat and Rufus. And I hope I'm explaining this right, because I kind of be all over the place when I be explaining this shit. But hopefully y'all get it. It is all going to tie together. I'm just here to give you the gist of it. Go watch it. I'm here to give you the gist of it. But it gets down to Nat and Rufus Book. So Rufus, he just in the house. He inside chilling. He watching everything go on. The shootout. He done lost all of his men. Nat done lost all of his men at this point. And it gets down to those two. Nope. Rewind. We gonna rewind. It gets down to Wiley Esco, because he was still feeling the type of way about the way, Rufus came and whooped his ass in front of everybody. He was feeling the type of way. So he came near with his little dynamite stick. He done blew up, boatload of men. He done did his little thing. And I was like, okay, Dion, you done redeemed yourself. He came in, he was like, look, dummy, holding a bag of dynamite in his hand. Rufus come downstairs. He was like, you know what? We used to be friends at one point. Deep down, I always knew you was the one that sent me away. And Wiley was trying to explain himself and like, well, I did what I had to do and blase. Rufus wasn't trying to hear that. Pow, he shot the bag of dynamite, blew him to smithereens. That part was kind of funny. I was like, dude, why is you walking around with a big ass bag of dynamite sticks? Or whatever it was. I'm assuming dynamite because it was the Wild Wild West times. So that was the end of him. He gone. So yeah, the dust has settled. It didn't got quiet. Both sides have lost a lot of people. In that he runs in the house. He knows Rufus is in there, and Rufus is in there, and he's just pretty much he didn't accept his fate. He set out to do what he did, and his plan was accomplished. And now he was like, it is what it is. I had a plan. I accomplished it. My purpose here is done. So take your revenge, nigga. Anyway, take your revenge, nigga. He was like, turn around. Ned came in with his gun, like, turn around. And Rufus, he gets to talk. He started telling us a story. This is where it gets interesting and where you kind of feel, bad for Rufus. And like, damn, was he really the antagonist? Or was he kind of like the victim in all of this? So he gets to telling this story about his mom and dad when he was a young boy. And the fact that his dad was a bit of an alcoholic, and he used to beat his mama's, he used to whoop up on his mama for, any little thing. The food, when it was overcooked, the food was undercooked, he whooped ass, for just about anything. And one day, he was like, as a child, a young man, I tried to intervene and, kind of get him off of it, and he took it out on me. And mama got in the way to get him off of me. She stuck him. She stabbed him. She broke a piece of glass. She stabbed him. And like, just like, I don't know if he shot her, hit her, whatever. But long story short, his dad ended up killing his mama and just left. He took everything they had and left. Left the child there with his dead mama. And they kind of, made Rufus the low-down outlaw that he was. So he was like, I had anger in me. That changed me, that molded me. That made me who I am. I set out to look for that man. I raised hell. Took me 30 years to find him. When I finally caught up to him, he was sober, a pastor, had a pretty young wife. He had a young son. And I wanted to take my revenge. So yeah. So long story short, in Ned, he was like, as Rufus is telling his story, Ned is like, the pieces are coming together. Like, ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way, boy. No, but he said that he like, nope, it ain't true. You shut up, that ain't true. So long story short, this whole time, Rufus Buck and Ned Love, they are brothers. They have the same father. So this whole thing was never really about Ned, so to speak. It was about Rufus getting his revenge on his dad. He was like, you ruined me. You fucked me up as a child. And you think you just gonna go on and forget all the stuff that you did? No, this is your karma. So essentially, Rufus was his father's karma. And that was just I'm assuming, just a casualty. And he was like, I did that. I kept you alive and I marked you because I knew you would come back. I knew you would come back. I did that and I wanted to ruin you the way our father ruined me. That was my biggest revenge on him because I made you everything that he was running from, and that was just like, wow. I was like, wow, and I was like, damn. So he really set out to ruin your life, and essentially he did that because since you was a child, you been on the hunt, the same as him. So y'all pretty much like the different sides of the same coin. And he was like, he didn't change. He changed his name from Buck to Love. So Nathaniel Buck, take your revenge. He just kept saying it. Nathaniel Buck, take your revenge. And he was like, yeah, look what I done did. I done made you a criminal. I done made you an outlaw. My work here is done. And he was like, yeah, you gonna be better than me though. You gonna be a better, criminal than me though, because I couldn't kill my brother. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. That was the only thing that I couldn't do. I couldn't kill you, but you gonna be better than me because, yeah, go ahead on and take your revenge. And at this point, I'm thinking that he was gonna be like, nope, because that's what you want me to do. You didn't set out and accomplish your plan. Now you think you just gonna get off easy? You think you just gonna die and get off easy? No. But he was walking away, and Rufus, he was like, take your revenge, take your revenge. He made a shot. And Ned, he turned around, he's crying, and he turned around and he shot him, emptied the clip on him. And he got out, he went outside and he was crying. And they called Rufus Buck the devil or something like that. They called him the devil. And Mary was like, is the devil dead? And you can kind of see that Ned, he's crying. You can see that something has happened. And you could just see it all in his face. She was like, is the devil dead? And he was like, I don't know. He was crying and he hugged her. Flash screen, we get to see the grave. So they didn't put all the boys in the grave. They got Jim in the grave. They have Bill Pickett in the grave. And they have a grave that says Nat Love. And I was like, Lord. But, they just did that to say that Nat was dead because he is a wanted man. He's an outlaw. So the sheriff, he was like, look, I'm going to do you a solid because, you did me a solid. We got him. And at the end, him and Mary rode off into the sunset on their horses. But we see a woman on a horse, and it came to my memory. And I was like, hold on, wait. They showed everybody getting killed, but your girl Trudy, played by Jenna King, because her and Mary had got into their little squabble, and she, wrapped her in the face with her rifle. And I'm thinking, that was the end of it. But I'm assuming Mary must have thought she was dead, and she didn't finish her. So we see Trudy on the horse watching. So I'm like, so is there a part 2? Anybody want to see a part 2? At this point, I'm hooked. Line and sinker, I'm hooked. So hopefully there's a part 2. That's my full breakdown on The Harder They Fall. I loved it. The Western. I don't really watch Westerns like that, but the fact that, it had all these beautiful black faces in it, I enjoyed it, and I encourage y'all to go on over to Netflix and check it out if you hadn't already. And those are Niecy's thoughts on Harder They Fall, y'all. Comment, like, subscribe, check me out, y'all. I know. I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Bye.